Hi guys, it's Mr.Po here. Thank you for tuning in. This is another update. Finally, it's time. It's been some time, and I wanted to share what is happening currently, in all the aquariums with you. Let's go and take a look. Well, first of all, you may probably notice that there are some new members in this aquarium, and this is Matilda, my betta fish that is currently living with all the other fishes, and it was a risky move. I thought that she would be aggressive towards anybody else, though she is a female betta, and female bettas are known to be a little bit less aggressive, but it usually depends on a particular fish, so this is always a very private case, but she is very friendly, maybe too friendly sometimes. When I feed everybody, she is hesitates to take her part, but I usually feed her separately, so she is somewhere here and the rest of the guys are here. Well, the next thing is the background. You may probably notice that the background is completely different compared to the former background, the blue one. And I got this idea, as I've said in my Instagram posts, I got this idea from Ty Streitman and George Farmer, who were working on some biotope projects, and they used light ground panels that utilized the light panel and different colored gradient backgrounds. So I made the same approach. I had the light behind, just a strip of LED, just simple LED lamp, and I printed the background as usual and put it here. It makes the aquarium look a little bit more like a biotope, or let's say more blackwater-ish, probably without adding tannins necessarily into water, because to be honest, I do not have the sources of tannins currently at the moment. I mean, you should have certain leaves of certain trees, and just putting any leaf that you want sometimes may result in some things that you probably don't want for your aquarium, like worsening the water quality. So we don't have anywhere right now currently any ready-made tannins in local fish stores, so I use such kind of method just to make an impression of a nice warmer looking tank probably. Well, that's it. By the way, neon tetras, they somehow do not eat that much these days. I don't know, I mean, like when I feed them, they come to the surface, they swallow maybe a granule or two or flakes or anything else that I give them, and that's pretty much it. It summarizes their eating routine. Well, it happens sometimes when neon tetras, they do not eat every day, or maybe they are just very demanding in terms of what they eat and what they don't. So sometimes you see such behavior like, oh, I don't want to eat that, I want something else, but after some time they will eat anyway because they kind of get hungry. And but the funny thing is, the food that I give is rather nutritious, tetra flakes and granules that contain vitamins and other nice stuff for fish to grow and get nice colors. I don't know, we'll see. Other than that, they are active, they are playful, they do not get thin that much. I mean, they pretty much look the same as usual. Well, it's always a problem with such fish like neon tetras. They are a little bit more susceptible to diseases, and they are susceptible to fungus more than other fish, so you should always keep an eye on water quality and try not to change the water chemistry drastically by adding anything new to the tank in terms of chemicals, fertilizers, or change water drastically. You have probably already noticed that the lamp level is lower this time, because I have noticed that plants lack some light. And considering that I do not add any fertilization and this substrate is not nutrients, the plants do not grow that well. And I noticed that I make this lower by adding these are cassette panels instead of CD panels. It doesn't look that good compared to what it was, but the result is obvious. You see Hygrophila mensis started to grow better, though it grows well anyway. And if you take a look at Ludwigias, they also get a little bit better. They are growing, they are kind of, you know, producing new leaves. I'm happy for that. As for other plants like this guppy grass and also hornwort, they were growing anyway, because these are very non-demanding plants, and I had a lot of cuttings from other aquariums, and I decided why not to put them here, because I decided, okay, let's just plant this tank, make it look bushier than before. So I made this, and I'm very satisfied with that. It looks really nice. I mean, you know, the more plants you have, the better, especially if you have such filter like HOB hang on the back. It's never enough to filter even such an aquarium, so you have to rely on the plants to filter your water if you have a low-tech tank with such small filters. So I usually try to rely on plants in removing, you know, excessive stuff, organics, etc. I read that the guppy grass is very good at it, even removing ammonia. So having this in your aquarium is always a good idea. The only thing you have to do is to keep an eye on it, because it can get invasive in no time. You see, there is some algae on the stones. I haven't had it, but you know, it's only on the stones. It's kind of like, you know, because of the light probably, but it stays like this. It doesn't spread out, and it's getting a little bit less than before, so I'm okay with that. I mean, it looks natural, it looks fine, as long as it doesn't disturb the plants. I'm very okay with that. So you have probably noticed on Instagram I posted, and there were 3 neon tetras instead of 2 that are right now here. Well, the thing is, some disaster happened recently. Overnight, probably, this internal filter, it got detached from the suction cups, and unfortunately 1 neon tetra got stuck in it, and it died because of that. I was very upset about this, but you know, it's already happened. Well, you know, before I also had a similar accident in this aquarium, by the way. So it's always a very depressing thing when such accidental thing happens. So you probably wonder what happens next with this aquarium. So the plan is, to be honest, is to remove the guppies from this aquarium, because they are getting bigger, you know, and sometimes they are rather disturbing to my Matilda. So what we will do is to move all the guppies and introduce neon tetras, new neon tetras in here. This will be once again a kind of species tank with only neon tetras and Matilda, the betta fish. I think they look good. Matilda serves here as a centerpiece fish. She is very friendly, doesn't disturb anybody. There is room for her to swim and explore. She eats all the time, you know, always ready to eat. Right now we are filming and she is already like ready to eat something, you know, but the feeding time will be in several hours. Well, that's the plan. And right now I will tell you what I will do with the guppies themselves. These are young guppies, new generation, newborn, juveniles, and a little bit grown babies in other aquariums. I will show you right now. All of them will be living in a new setup. So the new setup for all the young guppies, you see, there are several generations of guppies. The first generation, the old ones, there is the second generation, a little bit older guppies like juvenile, who are probably 6 months, maybe 7 months old, and there are some babies that have just grown up, colorized, and I want to move all of them together into a sort of mini pond or something. And I have a plan, basically 2 plans. I have a very big, not a very big, but rather like, you know, decent bucket, that like translucent bucket, let's say, that I want to transform into a pond. And I also have another container which also can serve as a very good solution to the pond. But the problem is I don't know exactly right now where to install it, because In other room, the temperature is a little bit lower, so I don't like it, to be honest, because there is an air conditioner and the temperature falls drastically. Like, you know, in the day it runs, and after midday, closer to the evening, we usually switch it off depending on the weather, and it starts to be very, very hot everywhere, because the temperature right now is kinda extreme, like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe higher. So, you know, we have some problems in water quality, so I try to oxygenate water more than usual in order to keep it like habitable. As when the temperature rises, the oxygen in water drops. In another room, there is not enough space probably for that. So I'm thinking maybe somewhere in between the rooms, in some kind of area, this would be a better solution in my opinion. But we need an access to the electricity, we need the access to maintenance, and of course it shouldn't actually you know, be an obstacle on the way. When you go, you can suddenly bump into this, so it should stand firmly and in some place safe for us and for the fish themselves. So these are the fishies that I was talking about. Take a look. Different generations, young guppies. As you probably visually even can decide, maybe it's a time for them to move somewhere, because when they stayed small, it was okay because they didn't have enough bioload to disturb others. But right now, currently, I think that water quality will drastically decrease because of the bioload from all these fishes. And as you can see, there is some breeding behavior already. Some of these females gave birth to new babies already, you see? Because they are like, what, 6 months old? And some of them are already pregnant, like this one. So, you know, it's always a never-ending cycle. We have some babies in here already. As I have posted on Instagram the footage of some babies. Take a look. I will show you right now, maybe, if I am able to do that. Well, too many, maybe overstocked already. So we have to move them somewhere. Anyway, you know, to a pond project or any other aquarium, I don't know. I mean, I do not want to give them away, because in local fish stores right now, it's not a good idea to keep them, as the temperature is very, very hot. And to be honest, I don't want to make them suffer, because they grew up in front of my eyes. I took care of them as much as I could. And I just like these guys. I want them to stay with me. Yeah, let's see if we can catch some babies. Babies, where are you? Oh, yes, take a look. I think I have a baby here in the camera. Yes, this is the baby. Yeah, and there are maybe 3 of them, 5 of them, usually more. But I think that some of them were already like eaten. Take a look. Is it this one or another one? I have no idea, but definitely there are some. Yeah, two ones. 1 and 2. Yeah, take a look. Oh my goodness, I think I spooked them right now. Well, anyway, what's the point? The point is the never-ending cycle of babies, so we need to move some of them. I mean, those who grew up already. The same situation basically happens in here. These guppies are younger, so they are smaller, which means that they can stay a little bit longer in here. But with time, I will also move some of them, especially these younger, smaller ones. There are some Dumbo guppies, there are some snakeskins, very beautiful ones, and there are some kind of tuxedo pastel guppies like this, female. So we will move them. I think that would be the plan. All of them into one pond, or maybe one aquarium. I have no idea. I mean, I don't want to have any other aquarium because there is not enough place for that. And to be honest, I want something very, very easy to be maintained. So a bare bottom pond would be a good solution to this issue. And by the way, if I haven't told you yet, I posted some stuff on Instagram again. Shrimp, there are a lot of them, new generations, just like maybe 40, maybe more. and some of the females are again pregnant. You can see the babies going everywhere. You see this black one, where is it? Yes, here it is. Others right now not so visible, but as soon as I feed something, they come out for their part. And what I like about them, they eat everything that another baby in here, just in here, if you can see. I'm sorry, the camera doesn't pick that up very nicely. Anyway, the point is, a lot of shrimp, I like them because they help somehow a little bit in here is another one. Here is another shrimp. Here, yeah, that's my finger. Yeah, that's the shrimp. So examples like this, a lot of such babies and a little bit more grown nicely, shrimp, like juveniles. And what I wanted to say, the third time I'm trying to say this, I like those shrimps because they eat everything that is lying on the ground here, on the substrate. Everything that is falling accidentally when I feed the fish, or any algae, any sort of such stuff. They try to eat that. They help me in cleaning the tank. So I really love them. But I anyway like shrimp. I think they are very interesting to observe, and they are, I cannot say that they are as intelligent as some fish like betta fish, but they are really cunning sometimes. So that's an interesting species to observe in your aquarium. So if you want to have an aquarium, I would suggest you to have some shrimp in it anyway. They will help you, and they will add a lot in the diversity probably and the look of your aquarium, 100%. And that's one of those very natural choices today in fish keeping hobby, to have some fish, to have some shrimp, and to have some snails probably. As there are some new babies and newborn shrimp, I wrapped this kinda with fabric, this kinda pre-filter stuff on the inlets of the filters, so they do not get sucked into this and go straight into the filter above. So I took a piece of cloth, I wrapped it around the tube and fixed it with this rubber band. That's not the best looking thing, but it does its job. Maybe it reduces the flow a little bit, but the flow is still going, so I'm okay with that. The thing is, I didn't have any pre-filter. They usually have this kind of pre-filters in pet stores that you can install on the tube so the babies do not get sucked up. But I couldn't find it somehow, and I didn't have anything at home that could serve like this, and I decided to go creative like that. And I think it's working. I mean, so far it stands for several days already and does its job. Well, we'll see. As soon as the babies grow a little bit more, maybe I can remove it. But considering that it's always like a new coming baby stuff, in terms of shrimp, in terms of fish, probably this thing will stay as long as it doesn't get clogged. When it gets clogged, you have to remove that, clean that, and install again, which will be a little bit pain, headache, but you have to do that. By the way, the tank grows a little bit wild right now. You see the guppy grass is growing, so this triangular shape is losing its shape. But I'm okay with that. Let these plants grow, then I will cut them and put the cutting somewhere, probably to this aquarium, because you see this corner is a little bit bald probably right now, and the Hygrophila siamensis that I also cut and replanted into the 4.7 tank with Matilda, it doesn't look very nicely right now, but I hope that this will eventually grow, and I want something in this corner, probably guppy grass from another tank on the left. I will plant it somewhere here, and it will look okay, I guess. And this is the reason why I keep those plants growing, because when if I cut it right now, these cuttings will be a little bit short. It will be more difficult to anchor them or plant them anywhere. That's why they need to reach some length, and let them grow then, you know, as much as they want so far. Plus the same I want to say about the hornwort. Right now it's getting bushy, as you can see. So because I always cut it, and when you cut the hornwort, it starts to get bushier. So I'm very happy for that. Let it also grow like this, and then we will see where we can plant it, you know, maybe in some other tanks, or maybe here in some other places. Well, thank you so much for watching. I will keep an update on everything and the new project. I haven't decided yet what to do exactly, but I think that this would be a nice idea, especially considering that these guppies are growing and they need more space eventually. I think that it's kind of time to think about that. So I will keep posting, you know, on the progress. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I will create something different, but so far that's the plan. Thank you so much once again. Stay safe and see you in the next episode.